Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. Today, I am actually giving you guys an update on the price of the most popular cryptos. I mean, to be honest with you, that is what's most important right now. There's a ton of news that we will still cover today, but this breakout has definitely been the most interesting thing quite yet. So what's more, today we're going to be covering that. And I do wonder, guys, are you actually trading crypto right now? Yes or no? I know a lot of the people that watch these videos are purely hodlers, but let me know in the comment section down below. And if you are a trader, make sure you check out Bybit. A link for that one is down below too. There's also right now a really huge competition that you might want to be part of. It's called the World Series of Trading. Doesn't cost any money to enter, but you might want to check it out, right? You can join our team and we can win prizes together. Having said that, there's a couple of points of interest. First of all, I think we should start out with Bitcoin and then move our way over into XRP. As I've explained before, there is a ton of news, but really nothing that relates to this breakout and rejection too much. So for Bitcoin on a little bit of a longer time frame, let's actually start on a bigger time frame. We got the daily right here. This is the daily chart for Bitcoin, and a couple of things are most likely straight at the bat quite apparent, and that is my green lining and the fact there's quite a lot of lines in there. That is for two reasons. One, because I'm always trying to give you guys an easy, clear line through these charts. And second of all, it's because this chart has a lot of history for us, purely because we use this every time in a video to make sure we have all the most important points of interest for the video specifically. All right, so right now, once more, I didn't add anything unless this little green squiggly line right there. The rest was already in there a little bit before. So what basically happened? Well, from about July on forward, we started a new bullish cycle. Right, the RSI dropped significantly, which basically means, okay, Bitcoin right now is oversold, and boom, bada bing, people start to buy. We already kind of thought about that back when it happened, about the 30K level, but that's besides the point, right? So people start to buy like crazy, and again, at one point or another, it got rejected. This is an area of interest, as you can clearly see. It just popped a little bit above it, about $1,000 or so, but for Bitcoin, relatively, that's not that much. All right, it rejected again, or kind of corrected, we should say, making our first high, however, with a new low. And that high, again, is significant because if you look at the previous points here, it actually overtook our previous high point at about 40,600 or so. All right, we overtook that, which was bullish. That's actually the point which we were kind of waiting for. So this new low that was forming, it wasn't actually that important where it was going to get to or stay. It was just important that it was going to be a higher low than this level right there, or yeah, I guess that's the most important point. So it did. Then we actually made another new high, and we took the Fibonacci for that to see what our most likely next move were going to be. And if you check it out right here, when we took the Fibonacci from our second wave, right? So basically, if you were to call it, this would be point of interest number one, our first high, our first low. And then again, we took kind of our newest impulse, which was again our second high with our second low right there. We took that, took the Fibonacci, and we noticed, okay, there's an extension level at about 1.272 and 1.618. We actually, in our next attempt, you might actually say that this is another high, but I don't really consider it one since we actually made a high but made a similar low. So I'm all counting this entire move actually as part of the newer higher high and newer higher low that's about to be made. And we'll still be in a quote-unquote bullish trend as long as we actually kind of stop above this area, right? So about $45,000 or so is where we have to kind of get our low at right now. And preferably, we'd actually stay above the 1 mark, so right around the area of about 46.7 thousand or so, so correcting to about this area before moving up higher. However, if we, again, just close anywhere above the $45,000 mark, I would say we are still in the good. And as you can clearly see, it was a perfect rejection at the 1.272 Fibonacci level. And logically speaking, though, we're just going to correct a little bit. We don't know how much. Let's quickly see. Right now, we're already down about, let's say 2% or so, but let's say we are going to correct about, let's say about 5% or so before moving back up higher, most likely pretty quickly towards the $50,000 mark, which is our first big resistance, before just kind of skyrocketing past. I guess we're also not going to have that much trouble as 51K. I think we're going to go straight towards about 52.5, the 1.618 Fibonacci extension level. However, we could actually, theoretically speaking, draw in a new Fibonacci, So again, look at the 1.272 here as an example. So let's quickly check that out. Our high is right there. 1.272 comes in clutch, a little bit above 50,000, and there's actually quite a lot of points of interest in that area, to be honest with you. All right, but that's kind of the broader spectrum of things. BTC on a shorter time frame, 1 hour, actually just got a really interesting rejection. As we clearly see here, a little bit of a descending, or I should say, how do you actually pronounce that? I guess an ascending triangle. Yeah. Because again, we hit a high right there. We actually stick with that high. We made another new high while the support was basically coming up, and we couldn't pass it, so we broke down. On a little bit of a shorter time frame, it actually looked like a symmetrical triangle as we were basically closing in piece by piece. This is a 50-minute chart, closing in piece by piece. Then a breakout towards the top side. Everybody got in, everybody got bullish, and then bada boom, bada bing, bosh, a big breakout towards the downside, which was not really something I think a lot of people expected. On Ethereum, it was actually a channel, a rising channel. And a lot of people actually say that this is bearish, which is, I guess, a little bit more logical, though, because I'm going to say that this one is usually quite bullish, this one is usually quite bearish, and the last one is, universe. We don't really know exactly what's going to happen. And in this specific case here, the support was basically... Now, let's actually just kind of stick with that for right now. We have to go over into XRP. It's good enough to say it like it is right now. So for XRP, I'm going to say that it's actually following Bitcoin along quite nicely. It's really not doing too much on its own, but there is not the perfect narrative behind it now, because we actually made a high at about $1.37 a couple of days ago. We made a new low at which we bought, right? I told you guys on Bybit already that we were buying at that area, and right now we're making a new high, which is actually lower than our previous one. So unless within a couple of days we're actually going to kind of pump through again, the formation as it currently stands is broken, which would not be too nicely. Wouldn't be a big problem though. But again, I wouldn't be too happy to see that. Then again, guys, this is all short term, right? That's a really important key to understand here. All right, Bitcoin just moved down a little bit. XRP is moving in the same fashion, short term. Why am I saying that expressively here? Well, it's because right now I think there's two things going on. One, people are trying to really hammer on that 50K mark, which is a lot of traders kind of trying to trade it just below there, trying to sell it off or trying to get it back down to not hit the 50K mark and to not cross above it. So a little bit of manipulation right there. But also anticipation. Right now, there's a really big fight between the bears and the bulls, because once the 50K mark has actually been claimed and we're above there, it's not going to be able to be stopped. And with XRP specifically, with this lawsuit going on as well, I've even expressed it on Twitter before. I feel so privileged that we got to buy in so cheaply. And I sometimes get scared about the fact that we will never potentially be able to buy XRP below 10 cents again. And from that perspective, I'm all just happy. All right, right now, it's still a bullish trend. We are still continuing on nicely. And we can actually see it maybe like this, right? Like a newer high is just about to be made at about $1.50 or something like that for XRP. This is just an intermediary little nudge or nub in the road or something like that. I don't see this as too much. If you really wanted to, you could short it and then try to buy back in this area here for potentially a double bottom. If we're getting back to the area, I might just buy in and go long again at the $1.08 or so mark, maybe a little bit above there already, $1.10 or so, to go long once more like we did a couple of days ago. Because in the end of things, we are still extremely bullish. And I do think we'll break past a couple of these barriers pretty quickly for XRP. I don't think $1.50 is going to be the biggest battle for the future, but it's going to be the biggest battle close, right? I think all these lower prices here are just intermediary, but $1.50 is the next area to claim for XRP. Once more, guys, I'm extremely bullish. Just wanted to make sure that you guys have it all in the back of your head. Also, regarding the lawsuit, yeah, I'm ecstatic. All right, let's put it like that. All right, guys, that was it for today's video. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe, and I will definitely see you guys again in another crypto video later today.